Hello, mortals, and welcome to another What If video. Oh, in this video, if we're gonna go over the what if Deku was the man of searing flame. Some of you might not know who he is or what he does. It's this one. He's from Yu-Gi-Oh! As a sacred beast, Haraya's the searing flames. Who shall I do next? I was thinking about doing Herman, Lord of Striking Thunder thing. Or so yeah. So sorry for that creepy introduction. So I know it's already 1 hour and 33 minutes. So yeah. So they were like. So I'm throwing in Zoomy, and I'm making this thing dark, but not as dark as like. I really don't want it too dark or I might be like being a scared person. So yeah. So now let's get into it. So they were, or Zuko and Zumi, after they were born, Zumi was the has just a average quirk. Like she has a quirk. But Zuko has a quirk that allows, or he has a quirk, but he also has the ability. So he basically, his ability is he can become, like, he literally basically becomes like him at like will, and he controls him. So basically he doesn't need like a quirk. So yeah, and he has the little fire animation too. So yeah, and when they were growing up, about age of 2 or age of 3, he hangs out with Todoroki, Bakugo, and mostly like his family. Like basically treats Todoroki and Bakugo as like family members. Yeah. So, and if they told, or actually Zuhuku told Todoroki and Bakugo that if he was acting like weird around them, like super weird, er, you could always know that you could tell that I'm me. Okay? But if you if I go overboard, it's not me, it's just someone else. Oh, okay. So yeah, Todoroki had that at the back of his mind. So then when the age of 4, they went up to a quirk doctor. Here, let's go over to the quirk doctor. I could find the stupid thing. Oh, here. As the quirk doctor basically lied to their parent, or to Inko and Asashi, and about Zuko's not having a quirk. If you haven't seen this is the reboot one, so just to keep you updated. So yeah. So then after they left, Inko decides to abandon him. That gave him the opportunity to kidnap him, and so he did. He put him inside of a tank, and yeah, he had the machine that you see on your screen right here. This part is cloning machine. So basically made perfect replicas of Zuko, cloning him. About, usually I do some random numbers, but guess who like, he, like, guess how many clones that he copied? Leave it in the comments below. Do 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 do. 26 sextillion tons of them. Like, basically, with that much, you could just basically take over the world. If yeah, some of them are so perfect that they automatically have quirks put inside of them. And the first clone went to UA to spy on them. So yeah. So I'm skipping the internship thing. So yeah. So then Todoroki was like, these more I. Yeah, so he basically, like, what he's doing after the, or before the internship, or during it, he actually he actually copies everyone's quirks through his feet. So basically, everyone, and plus their memories and all that stuff. So basically, when he leaves, when he returns to the doctor, then he ends up using his, like, copied the quirks and memories power to go back into Zuko's So basically, like, because his, like, ability allows him to, like, basically turn into a dragon, but when he has enough power stored in him, then he ends up, like, as Zuko is crying, as one of the abilities was sent to his friend Todoroki and Bakugo, as they could hear Zuko's voice, as, yeah, so, yeah, as he says, capture, or in, like, telepathic, as, yeah, so the next day, the clone number 2 came, and so, yeah, he was holding a new record. So, yeah, he was in Class 1A. As, yeah. So, I'm skipping the ball throw and the USJ. Or, no, not USJ. The Heroes vs. Villains. Then USJ. He is the. Goes almost similar to canon, but when the Nomu who attacked, of course, the Nomu attacked Zuko instead of, or actually attacks Mr. Aizawa, and Zuko comes in, and he basically does that stuff. As he sliced the Nomu into bacon bits. As the Nomu, instead of looking like his canon version self, looked more. Give me a moment. Well, I couldn't find a good picture, but this is what the Nomu who looked like. A monster that has no emotions. Yeah. As Todoroki sees there's something wrong. As he used his ice to freeze his opponent, or freezes him, as, yeah, the monster looks at him, and he says, or the monster says, Todoroki, good to see you, old friend. As Todoroki's confused why this creature knows him. As this creature, or as this person slayed him, as the Nomu, whose last words were, "You have the spy." As then the Nomu got disintegrated. Or turned into a pile of goo. As the Shiraki-sen picks the goo up. Guess it's a doctor's failed experiment. As it happens like normally, but he ends up, after they escape, they Todoroki. So yeah, he ends up thinking about what that monster said. As the monster's DNA got picked up by the doctor, and they to do some blood things. As they see, of course, he found out that it was Zuko's blood. As as detective asked what happened and all that stuff. But when Todoroki walked, or he turned away because he probably knows who's the spy. As yeah, the detective walks up to Todoroki and asks him to come with him real quick. Okay? As I just want to ask you, as it wasn't too far, so they came. So he asked what happened. As Todoroki explains that the villains came out of nowhere, ambushed us. They had a big Nomu looking thing. The skull looks like a monster form. But something's really bugging me about something. As the detective and chief, actually, because the chief showed up, as the both of them asked him what's up with it. Well, that Nomu used to know me. and called me old friend. But that's not the weird part. But before he died, he said, "You have the spy in, or you have the spy." As as chief of police and the detective is a little bit now worried. I mean, so I'm skipping the sports festival, and of course, when they tested all the students, when they were, yeah. Of course, the chief of police says, well, you can't believe it, but that Nomu who creature, or that creature, is actually, his DNA is matching to Zuko Midoriya's. This is troubling some. As he goes, keep testing to make sure we did 4 tests, and no doubt it's as the detectives walks, or as they both walking, as they went to Nezu and told him that it must be Zuko. Oh. Or the spy must have, like, some connection to this attack. They know that he as Todoroki, only person that seems like that talked to mentions, like, Todoroki. Like, hey, Todoroki, old friend. It must be like someone, and plus it's Zuko's. As Todoroki, of course, they put a tracking thing inside, like, clone number 4 during that. So yeah. Then now I'm during the internship thing. He actually went, like, he snuck away from the villains, or the heroes, but only Mr. Aizawa knew. So he ends up following him. As he shows up at the abandoned warehouse where all the villains meet up. And, like, he basically, as he made sure that no one was following him. Good to see you. Oh. As Dobby says, good to see you, clone number 4. And as Eraserhead was from the like a ceiling looking down, and he says in his own head, clone number 4. So the 1, 2, 3 must be him. I see. As the villains were talking about their big plans, and yeah, as one of them says, I can't wait to send, or we can't send number, or we can't wait to send number 5, clone number 5. As, yeah. So, Eraserhead had, like, the earpiece told all the pro heroes they've been setting us up. As, yeah. So all the pro heroes bust in as the number 4 said that's impossible. I made sure that no one followed me. As, did you not think about one thing? The tracker? A tracker. No matter. If I go back to the masters, then I will tell him all about how I took care of all the villains. As he, and to let you know before you die, that Nomu, the one that attacked USJ, was actually me. He was a clone number -1. He was useless to us. So, for your willingly to become a human, as like all the pro heroes, as he flies, is to the like to their thing, and yeah, so then he melted into a puddle of, and went back into the, yeah, as, yeah, the total, or as, this is impossible. But how does, as like a pro heroes, next day, like when they arrived, Eraserhead tells them that, or told Todoroki, you're right about we have a spy. As Todoroki had the worried face thing. Like, I guess that Nomu was telling the truth. Well, why does he? or as the Nomus is like the one that negative one went back into his body, or went back into his body, as he was so much tears came off. He was so sad that all that stress made him pass out from it. As he basically, yeah, as Ochako, oh, says to them that he should just, or how about we all, and Ochako wanted to come, assist the pro heroes. As, yeah, all the pro heroes things that the students shouldn't be in the danger already. But they, as Todoroki tells Racerhead that I'm the good friend to him. Anyone gets their opportunity to get the Zuko out is me, because and of course Bakugo says the same thing, because they were upset. They know, or Todoroki knows, that they're friends to him and treated them as their own brother. So, yeah. As All Might can see why Zuko's is always dependable one of the bunch. So the entire Class A and Class B joined forces, and they all went to the hospital thing where he was at. As, yeah, there was thousands, million, trillion, or 26 sextillion tons of them, minus 4 already, makes it 22 sextillion tons. And were ready to bring a pain. As Todoroki and them wiped them all out. Yeah. As the puddle of goos that they when they evaporate, they all went back into him. As his power starts to grow uncontrollable, like his body, honey. As Ochako snuck in, and when she saw Zuko's crying face is it broke her. Like, she couldn't believe that someone would do this to her friend. As he says, "Ah, Ochako, how good to see you. And your friend and I was experimenting on your friend. We heard so much about you in Class 1A. And to infiltrate this as Ochako was yelling at him, like, what did you do to my friend, you creep? Oh, you know those clones, those 4 clones. First clone, that beginning of the Quark registry thing. It already absorbed all the details, or like your memory, or copies all your memories or everyone's memories, and the doing all that stuff. Oh, so number 2 clone was for the ball, and basically, as All for One popped out of nowhere, as All Might, it went toe to toe with each other's. As, yeah, Momo made some glass cutter thing to get Zuko out of there. Or actually, Dark Shadow just went in through the top, and like grabbed him out of there as he pulls or attaches him. So yeah, it's like a rescue mission. As the Todoroki used his ice thing to freeze the doctor in place. As it was already too late. There was a button that molded all the, as before they aim. So yeah, as Zuko is screaming, aiming in loud as a banshee, like 20 times louder, as the machine, as the doctor says, here it comes, the most greatest creation, as a pile of Zuko's was turned into that creature. And ends up fighting like as Zuko was out, but as the, he's already now attack, destroy all of them. As All for One versus All Might was still going on. As, hold on, sorry about that. I had to blow my nose. So yeah, as when he, when Zuko, his ability, or actually when the clone of Zuko went like all out against the all the students and pro heroes. As yeah, how will we defeat this creature that looks like Zuko's? As Todoroki says, I don't know. And inside of Zuko's body, he like his ability took control, like autopilot thing, as they see red flames that are brighter than anything surrounding Zuko's entire body. As the Zuko's transformed through that entire flaming animation into that. Yeah. As he basically went toe to toe with his clones, as they both like destroyed the upper half. And yeah, as they both they went toe to toe as they went outside, and as the grabs the Nomu, or the clone of Zuko's head, and crushed it yeah. As everyone that was present at there saw how it is, as he turns around, as he sees All for One, and was gonna kill off All Might by just using the beam attack. As he charges, or he used his tail, as All Might knows that he's gonna do that, so All Might ducks under, as the tail came in, hits it's All for One, sending him flying up words. As he flies over there, as his telepathic abilities talks to All for One, says, you made me into this monster, or you used my now die, as he shoots a fire that's 20 times hotter. Or no, let's crank it up to infinity. So he cranks it up to and burns All for One to death. Basically to ashes. As he turns around and instead of using the flames, he laid his head on the floor, looking at All Might. Not out of hatred or fear, but he's as his flame, turned him back into a human, and he collapsed. Yeah. As All Might sees a pro hero, right here. Yeah. As Ochako runs and runs up to him, and before he hit the ground, she holds him in her arms, as she knows that he's still alive. And yeah, plus Zumi was crying too. She couldn't believe that her own brother got captured and got cloned and got turned into a flaming raging dragon thing. Of course, when she called her mom about Zuko, and when to keep her up to date, is when she heard that we found Zuko. As she couldn't believe, or actually, Zumi didn't, or actually told Inko that she found her brother, and she told him, or actually, Zumi asked the doctor, so I remember you. You're the same doctor that you told my brother that he was quirkless. He couldn't become a hero. Yes, but let me tell you, I lied about the not having a quirk or the. So yeah. So what was his quirk? Well, his quirk was actually the same thing as yours, Zumi, Midoriya. But that was not a reason why I wanted to separate you two from each other's. It's because of his demonic power. His power was actually your mother hasn't told you about the story of how this great city was formed, hasn't it? Well, let me tell you, long, long, long ago, when there was a mythical dragon, the kind of searing flames. He roamed the world, sent hatred to everyone, like burns them alive. And to unlock his full power, he needed was one thing: the infinity power, to make it have infinite. Yeah. So that's why, and as the villains known that for many, many years, as he tells them that it's pretty strong quirk. Please wait for part 2.